Hello, Internet. This is Whispering Whim bringing you my air quote October grocery haul. I am getting married in October, and I do not expect that I will have A, the time, and B, enough need of food for a large grocery haul. Because I basically, for the whole month of October, I'm only like home regular for like 6 days. Now that's not all honeymoon and wedding. I have some shows to do and money to make. But anyways, moral of the story is happy October, all you future people. I hope you're gonna enjoy your spooky season. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. And oddly enough, we will get to look at some candy today, even though it's like right now more than a month before the good old Halloween. But that'll be later on. Let's jump into what we have right in front of us, right? First up, we've got some circus animal crackers. Truth be told, I really didn't need to buy any desserts for lunches this month, or this grocery trip, really. But I just couldn't help adding something fun back into the rotation. It's been a little while since he's had circus animal crackers. It's one of my favorite things to give him because it's pink and silly and juvenile, right? And he gets a crack out of anything that makes me smile, basically. So he gets some nice pink, bears and rhinos and lions. Next up, we have some fruit cups. Now, I normally prefer to put fresh fruit in his lunches, but knowing that we're about to head into the gauntlet, I tried to minimize how much fresh stuff I bought because I don't know how much I'll actually be eating at home. And then I was so excited to see this back in the store that I actually bought 2 of them. And this is jalapeno flavored popcorn. But it's more than just jalapeno flavored. They have freeze-dried jalapenos in with the popcorn. So little tiny pieces of crunchy pepper, and it's far more spicy than your average jalapeno flavored product. I find that a lot of times when something's jalapeno flavored, it has spice to it, but I wouldn't call it spicy. But then again, we do keep like ghost peppers in this household, so we might be a bit skewed in one direction. But I had gotten these, or 1 bag of this. Goodness, it must have been like 6 months ago now. And my guy really, really loved them, and I could not get them again. I could order them online, but once you added in shipping and everything, it was not worth it. No one's paying $8 a bag for popcorn, right? Following that, we've got some good old curry mix. It's a nice standby for a quick meal, quick-ish. Usually takes me about a half an hour to 45 minutes to make curry. And then we've got some tortillas to make our taco shells with. We're almost done with the taco season, right? I'm kind of excited that fall is just around the corner because I'm ready for like stew and spaghetti and roasts and all those really like hot dishes, that make the house a little too hot in the summer. So I'm like already like craving all of the things. Okay, but next up, I have not 1, not 2, but 3 whole bottles of lemon juice. Now, can you guess why I have 3 whole bottles of lemon juice? If you were to say to make a whole bunch of lemonade, you'd be kind of half correct. The venue that we're having our wedding at is only allowing 1 mixed drink. Other than that, it has to be beer or wine. And they just do that because they don't really want people to be encouraged to, like, take tequila shots or, drink whiskey straight, or, they don't want people super duper drunk. It is a historic venue. We had to take out like $1 million in liability insurance, which doesn't actually cost that much when it's only 1 day, but yeah, it's a little scary almost to have a event in such a timeless space. But anyways, to get back to it, the cocktail that I decided on is the lemon drop, which is one of my favorites. When I turned 21, I liked a lot of fruity, like sugary kind of cocktails, and I've moved away from a lot of that. Like, I don't, I might have like a pina colada, but I definitely wouldn't get, like wasted off of them. But lemon drops still hold like a special part in my heart. Yeah, we'll go part in my heart, because they're not super duper sugary, but it's just nice, clean, classic drink that you can get at pretty much any bar that makes cocktails. So I think that'll be a good choice. We looked at a lot of fall inspired drinks, like your hard ciders, and you could just get hard cider in a bottle, so that wasn't really a thing, but like Fireball and cider, something that some people like. And there'd be people who enjoy like a pumpkin spice, whatever, but overall, I think we wanted something a bit more classic and long lasting. But anyways, back to the presents here. Got some seaweed snacks, nice low calorie snacks. I get to pick up my dress on Thursday, so just 2 more days. And so I can't really like gain a whole bunch of weight or lose a whole bunch of weight because I've already done the fitting. It's just the final pickup. We're so close. Next up, got some applesauce. And then we have our ever classic flavor packs. I seem to get these same ones over and over again. I really should just rely on my spices. Oh my goodness, you guys, I have so many spices. And I'm gonna get more on my honeymoon. A lot more, because we're stopping at a spice shop. So maybe I'll stop buying these things, but you just can't beat the fact that it's all pre-measured and just ready, right, for you to use. So I really should stop using those, though. All right, moving on. We got a big old pineapple. This is an unusual purchase for me. I do like pineapple. I typically don't like cutting it. I'm actually pretty good at cutting pineapple. I used to work in a bakery, so I've had to cut my fair share of pineapples. But it was only $1 for a whole pineapple today. You can kind of tell by the way that these are very lightly colored towards the bottom here. This is probably almost at peak ripeness. Maybe it could handle another day or two, but you wouldn't want to leave it for much longer than that. So that's probably why they were on super sale, is the grocery stores prefer to hold things that are before ripe, not at ripe. But between the sale and the fact that it looked like it was going to be a perfect pineapple, I decided to buy it. And I'll show you. For one of my wedding gifts, these days you can like just pre-send wedding gifts apparently. We I don't know where we're gonna keep it all. So we've been getting stuff in, like we got a wine fridge, which is super exciting. I got like a new blender. I got an Instapot, which I haven't even unpacked yet or opened up because I just don't know where I'm gonna put any of this. But among the things I got was this big old hunk of knife. Isn't that beautiful? Now this is more for like cutting roasts than it is for cutting pineapples. I'd recommend a serrated blade, but I was thinking about my serrated blade and remembered that I have that. That is a nice little wedding gift. So let's go ahead and move on, shall we? Next up, we have some Wonder Bread and a bag that wants to fall over. There we go. Not the brand I normally get, but I've been playing around. My favorite brand is the Alfonso Artisanal, this brand. I usually get bread in this brand, but it is kind of, as far as bread goes, they're thick slices, so they're calorie dense. So I'm looking around for not necessarily a diet bread, but one that's just a little less heavy on the calories. So this one's 70 calories a slice, which is pretty close to average, I would say, for a bread. If I can find a spot to put it. So the last one I got kind of was very dry. And I know Wonder Bread is like a classic. It's been a while since I've had Wonder Bread. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I did splurge for the nice hamburger buns. Partly because when I'm eating a hamburger, it doesn't matter as much, I think, if it's an extra 20 calories for the bread. And also, they come in these nice little 6-packs. It's just my fiance and I who typically are eating. So, getting a 12-pack or an 8-pack of buns is just, it's so excessive. Even with throwing it in the freezer, like they'll get freezer burned before we have a chance to use them all. Because hamburgers are kind of our, maybe not necessarily a guilty treat. I wouldn't say that, but a not everyday meal. Okay, moving along, we got some split pea and ham with bacon soup. And have you guys noticed that they've changed? They're getting away from the old style of can where they had like, that bowl of soup kind of in the center. And I kind of miss that. Maybe just because I'm not used to this yet, but I had a hard time finding the soups I wanted because my brain just didn't associate this as split pea and ham. That looks like, from afar, that almost looks like it's like some random roast beef or something. Well, I'm sure I'll get used to it. Got some green beans. I did not warrant a trip to Sam's Club because, again, I didn't want to buy too much today. And they have a really good deal, though, on green beans. So I was torn up on whether or not to get no green beans, get the brand that I prefer, or to give this brand another shot. This is the Winco brand. It's the store brand. And I was using the store brand a lot a little while back. And then I ran into a problem where pretty much every can of green beans had a stem in it. And once in a while, it's easy to pick out a stem, but green beans are kind of like my, I need some filler food, I want to feel full, but I don't want to add a ton of calories. So I'm guilty of opening up this whole can and just plopping it in a bowl. And yes, without heat, I'm sorry if that's weird to people. They're pre-cooked though. Plopping it into a bowl and just, going to town. So after the 5th or 6th stem, I was I can't handle this anymore. And I switched to this brand because this is what's available at Sam's Club, and I actually enjoy this brand a lot, but I wasn't going to make a trip all the way to that side of town just for green beans. That'd be a bit excessive. There is still something in there. Okay, so next up is some apples, and they are in, look at that, a disposable or reusable bag. In fact, I got to use all reusable bags today. They're finally letting us do that again. I think they started that actually last month, but I was definitely out of the habit of packing my bags. So, I'm trying to get back into that and be nice and eco-friendly, right? Last little item in that bag is one single avocado. As much as I like to eat a lot of avocado, I think I've just learned that I can only handle like keeping track of one of them. Otherwise, I'll let them get too ripe, or I'll get impatient because I have so many and I'll open them up early. So one avocado is where it's at, apparently, for me. Okay, and then we do have actually one more bag hiding here. My good old wine and can bag. It's just meant for wine, but honestly, it's the best little bag for any sort of heavy jar, bottle, etc. Because it's nice and strong, and it keeps them all kind of lined up. Like in this one pouch, I have two cans of stuff, and you know, this holds wine nicely. Anyways, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I got one bottle of wine. We actually tried and we figured out the wine that we were gonna serve for the wedding, and then I got it in my head that I didn't want to serve the exact same wine for our rehearsal dinner because I'm silly like that, and I picked up some to try, and I don't know, like my wine radar was way off that day. I got this wine, it was a Sauvignon Blanc, and I swear it's like dirty farts, like dirty feet and smart fart smell. And I am just flabbergasted because it wasn't super expensive, but it was like, had one of the little like staff recommended labels on it. Now I just, anyways, so this is actually a super cheap wine, but I want to kind of compare it side by side because maybe the rehearsal dinner has cheap but tasty wine instead of yucky but expensive wine. And I know there's plenty of wine out there to try, and I'm sure I could find one that's both price appropriate and taste appropriate, but I'm running out of time. And on top of that, I have been on and off a medication that's really rough for my liver, or at least that's what they say. I'm actually getting blood work later today to find out if my liver's doing okay. But the moral of the story is I haven't been allowed to drink a lot lately, so I can't really try a lot of wines. I mean, I could sip it and like maybe spit it out or something, but that would make me sad. Like, just on a personal level, I can't. I would not be a good wine taster because I want to drink the wine. So yeah, that's the story there. Gonna double check because I'm pretty sure that's the one I like out of the cheap wines available at Winco, and I'm gonna see if that one's acceptable for rehearsal dinner. Okay, moving on. We have some chicken and stars soup, and this has that old school label that I was telling you about where it's like a bowl of soup, and it actually shows you the soup instead of, where'd it go? I put it away already. The bean and bacon, right, where it like shows you ingredients in a, I don't know, suboptimal way. I don't know why. That makes me grumpy. other than I've just been grumpy lately. It's stressful, y'all, planning a wedding. I could see why everyone had recommended that I just elope. Okay, but we have some white beans. That's for my ever-present white bean chili. More soup. And another soup. This one's bean with bacon, with that stupid graphic on the side there. And then last but not least, some spaghetti sauce. I'm crossing my fingers that spaghetti season will be here quicker versus later. We'll see. And I don't think I'm actually going to go through all the effort of pulling out my refrigerator bag. It's very small. It's just got some chicken in it, cabbage, broccoli, and cheese. And those are all things I buy every month anyways. But I will spend a few moments showing some of the candy that we'll have available for the wedding. Because yay, wedding. Okay, my original plan was to just pick up the whole like dessert box and bring it in here. But A, it's a little bit heavy, and B, with the camera equipment, I couldn't quite maneuver it into the kitchen. So I picked out the best items, and we're gonna take a look-see. So just as a bit of a background, we're going to be in an old-timey historical venue, right? And just down the street is like an old-fashioned candy shop. We're not buying candy from the old-fashioned candy shop because that's really expensive, but it made me want to get some like nostalgic candies. So we got some good old lemon heads. Got some Charleston Chews. These were one of my favorites from the like nostalgic candy options. We've got some saltwater taffy. I actually have quite a few bags of saltwater taffy. I didn't bring them all into the kitchen with me, but I will say that I really do enjoy this brand, the taffyshop.com. They have a bunch of flavors, and it's really fun. And in fact, I should have, if you look deep enough into last year's videos, a tasting video where I tried a whole bunch of Taffy Shop taffy. So that's an option if you get bored. And then we've got some pixie sticks, good old classic sugar in a stick. We got a big old bag of fireballs, and this one was the most important one to get. My fiance, his dad has passed a while ago. I never even met him, but my guy really remembers his dad fondly, and one of the things his dad would do, they had a Costco membership, which is very similar to Sam's Club, and he would buy in bulk fireball candies. So my fiance and his sisters are, we're used to having fireball candies around for a very good portion of their life. So that one had to, hands down, be in the candy shop. A little nod to the people that help us be who we are, right? We got a giant old bin of peppermint candy. These are the soft ones, which are my favorite. And then, this isn't candy, but it's still kind of cool. We have a super duper variety pack of Harney and Sons tea. So organic peppermint, decaffeinated Ceylon. Let's see here. Paris, English breakfast. That's always a classic, right? There should be like, let's see here, 14 different flavors, 3 bags each. So that should be enough to please most people. My sister-in-laws are big tea drinkers. They hate coffee. But their whole family, like my fiance's family, on the maternal side, insist, like hands down, insist on having a hot beverage with dessert. So I'm gonna make sure tea's available and coffee as well, because that's what I drink, obviously. And then we have 3 cans of this. It is some pre-ground little sugar with some citric acid in it to rim the lemon drop glasses. We could have gone with just regular sugar, but this is convenient and cool, and I hope the bartender appreciates that I got him something a little nicer. We'll see. And then also for the lemon drops, I have 3 bottles of simple syrup. Now, I can easily make simple syrup here at home. It's like the easiest thing in the world to make. You take equal parts, usually by weight, of water and sugar, and you heat it until it simmers, and then you take it off the heat and you have simple syrup. It's really that easy. Just heat it, the sugar's dissolved, then you're ready to go. And you can continue cooking it to make it more thick, although you have to be careful because you might accidentally make a caramel if you leave it on for too long. So part of me was like, I should just make the simple syrup. Our bartender requested that we have some, and it would definitely be a lot cheaper. A whole pound of sugar is like what, $2, $1. However, putting it into a container that's not going to spill or get sticky, because our wedding is out of town, not far out of town, but it's a good 45-minute drive away, with windy mountain roads. So I was like, I could make it, but I probably shouldn't. So I paid way too much for simple syrup in jars, but sometimes that's just what you gotta do, right? Yeah, that is everything. I'm not gonna do shout outs today because I do need to clean up and get to my next appointment here. Life has been very, very busy. My whole calendar is just full of stuff. But I will talk to you guys very soon. I will be a married woman when I see you next. I will try to get some footage of the honeymoon and do one of those like voiceover videos. I have no guess when I'd actually finish editing and putting that all together, but it is a goal to do it. Other than that, thank you guys, everyone, and I will talk to you again soonish. Nighty night.